Hello everyone, this is Dor from Coaching Circle. I'm here today to share with you about this work. It's a playlist called Possibility Management Work that you can watch and learn gradually and experientially about this work. So today we're going to talk about emotional healing processes. What is the purpose of them, how you can use them, and how do they look like. So let's start.
Well, I've been carrying my trouble and this pack strapped to my shoulder ever since I was a baby. I've been running from everything I know. Don't you tell me about my trouble, 'cause you know nothing about my trouble. Nobody knows about my trouble except for my baby and me.
The purpose of emotional healing processes is to heal stuck emotion from our past. What are stuck emotions? As we grow up in this society, nobody taught us how to feel. We didn't have a class in school on how to feel. Our parents and authority figures, they didn't really know how to support us, how to hold space, like we call it, for emotional healing processes, or for us just to feel, to experience our feelings. And then our sadness, joy, fear, and anger couldn't be expressed, and we kind of stuff it down. We didn't really feel them naturally, and now they became emotions. So feelings that we couldn't feel and express became emotions. Now, it gets more intense than this. Imagine you had an event in your life where it was very dangerous for you, for your survival, or as a kid, or maybe as a very young being. You couldn't really feel it, and it was too overwhelming. It was too much for you to feel. So you had this event, some call it traumatic event, and then the feeling were too big for you, so you kind of shut them down. And sometimes in those moments, you made an agreement with yourself to not feel, or you made an old decision about life, about what is life for you, or about what are you doing here in life, in this world. Sometimes you created this energetic block that's preventing you from doing certain things, and the emotion got stuck there with this energetic, intellectual, or even physical aspect. So when we do an emotional healing process, it's to heal that in all of the aspects that were connected to it. It gets even more complicated than that. Imagine you had an emotion of anger, and then there was also fear, and also sadness, and also joy, and they got mixed together on this big event that probably happened to you in your life. A lot of times the emotion get mixed together. So if you take fuel, for example, and you mix it with milk, and you mix it with orange juice, what can you do with this liquid? You cannot really drink it, you cannot fuel your car with it, and that's mixed emotion, where they get mixed together. When something triggers us and we feel them, it feels like this yucky ball in our stomach, to say the least. Sometimes it feels like burnout, overwhelming feeling, depression, anxiety, and all the other emotions that we call them emotions, but they're actually mixed emotions. And how does it feel? So we're going to do this thing that we really want to do, and then this emotion, something triggers us, and these emotions come up. So imagine this meal that you cannot digest. You cannot process it. It's like a spaghetti that milk spilled inside of it, and it fell on the oily floor, and the dog came up and licked it, and now it's like sitting there and you don't really want to feel it. So you're not surprised probably why we don't go for our emotions in modern culture. We, as creative human beings, because we didn't have the technology to feel or to heal those feelings and emotion, we found ways to go around it. There's all these strategies we invented to go around the feeling and emotions. For example, a lot of it is numbing yourself. In modern culture, you have many possibilities to numb yourself, different substance, different TV shows, different ways to connect with people around you in relationship that keep you numb, to not feel, and then more feelings become emotions, even because you don't feel on your day-to-day life. And then there's another strategy that we use, which is to build our whole life around that emotion, like a river that's going around the mountain. Now, I'm not only talking about big things, even emotion that we have on our day-to-day, like jealousy, boredom, confusion, frustration, jealousy, loneliness, isolation. All these are stuck emotion from our past. And that's what is the emotional healing process for, to heal them. So all of this may sound very intense, and it is, but actually there's a lot of honor in having these stuck emotions from the past. Why? Because when we chose to stuff down our emotion or to change the way we behave in the world, some of it is even putting on a different skin around us, changing who we are and acting different than what our being truly is. Some of the emotional healing process even go that deep. So we did it to survive in this world, which is a very noble thing. So basically, when you take in an emotional healing process, you're doing something very honorable and noble, because one point in your past you could either not survive or you could stuff this emotion down and handle it. And then when almost, we've gone through this life without knowing it's even a possibility, where the only possibilities we have is going to modern culture therapy or something, which is very intellectual, or all this new age stuff that didn't really work for us. And then suddenly in the middle of our life, we discover about this emotional healing process. And that was for me like a very great moment, where I realized that all this stuck emotion that stopped me from, even things like going on stage or changing the way I relate to people, working in teams, all the things that prevented me from doing that, suddenly there is an emotional healing process that I can shift that, and I can transform those feelings and make them conscious and use them. Yeah, so now when we discover about the emotional healing process, it's a moment to celebrate, because here is the thing that was waiting for us all along, to heal those stuck emotions and to learn something really great. Usually in this emotional healing process, you change all decisions that you made in the past. You remove energetic blocks. You change even your being. Something in your being changes and shift, like things that your point of origin, the way you relate to the world, sometimes this change, and it really changed major things in your life. So all of a sudden, there is this moment where you can do it, and you can shift even little things, like places where you get bored, places where you get lonely. It's like these emotions are treasures. They are doorways for you to discover a treasure for yourself. And this something that you put in your past to later in life discover, heal, and have this celebration moment. So I encourage you to try them. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about how emotional healing process look like. Okay, so how does it work logistically? You find a person that you feel you want them to hold space for you. You're not doing this alone, because our mind has a way to still get us off what we need to feel in that moment. So it doesn't work to navigate on ourselves. So you choose someone to hold space for you, someone that you feel safe with and you think he has radical responsibility in his life. So you ask him and you say, can you hold or navigate space for an emotional healing process for me at this time? And then you agree on the logistics, like what is the time, the place, what is the exchange, if there is a value exchange. And then you meet for something between 30 minutes to an hour and a half in a safe space. For you, it can be online also. So both of you are in a safe space for you, that you can focus and do this work. And then the healing process starts. The space holder takes you on a little centering process that a lot of people already know it, so it happens very fast. But if you don't know it yet, you're going to go through that very fast, so you can center yourself and really feel your feelings. Then he asks you, the space holder asks, what can I do for you today? And that's a very important moment, because the space holder is really doing this for you, is holding space for you responsibly. It's not like in modern culture, you go into a therapist and you put your responsibility in him, in the therapist. You're going to take care of me. In the emotional healing process, the responsibility is really about you. You ask for it. You're taking responsibility for your own journey, for your own healing path. So it's important that you are aware of it and you're clear on what is it that you ask him for. What is it that he can do for you? And that ask can be something like, I have these emotions that keep coming up and I don't know what it is. I want to explore what is the bottom of it. I feel a stuck emotion of anger or joy, or it can be a mixed emotion like anxiety, overwhelm, burnout. Every time this happens and I want to realize why. Or another example could be, I want to change the way I relate to people in this way. So there can be a variety of reasons why you ask for an emotional healing process. And then when it's very clear on what you want, then the emotional healing process can happen. The magic of it can happen. So the space holder in emotional healing process, it doesn't really do something like a therapist. It is not trying to solve your problem for you. It's not trying to figure out, analyze what is the emotion behind this. It's not doing this. All he's doing is holding space for your feeling and emotion to feel. And he's helping you navigate them. So he's keeping you from your head and into your feelings. He's keeping you feeling what you're feeling. And that process is very conscious. You're not going anywhere you don't want to be. It's not like hypnosis or something like that. It's really conscious for you to navigate. You can say no. You can say, I don't want to go there. After doing this 3 years emotional healing process for myself and holding space for others, a lot of time when someone holds space for me, I help to navigate myself. I tell them, ask me these questions. I think it's going to work now. So it's a very responsible process. And what you do is you either sit in front of each other or online on Zoom, you're talking, and the person that came to do the healing process, a lot of times he closes his eyes and he's going through this emotion, and he's feel these emotions very intensely. It can be loud, so you need a safe space to be loud. And then a lot of things can happen. A lot of things can happen during the emotional healing process. And it's usually in the end of it, you change an old decision you made, or you remove an energetic block, or you make an agreement. There's a lot of things like that. There's no real like physical touch in it. It's not needed, and it's also not required, because it's basically about you and your own feelings and emotion going through it. That's why it's also work on Zoom. Okay, so now that the process ended, now it's time for you to integrate that. And after you integrate that, there's all these new things that happen in your life. A lot of experiential distinction happens in your life. So you can learn new stuff, and you can also hold space like that for other people. So when you experience this knowledge, you can hold space for other people. After you do a lot of healing process like this, I recommend at least 10 healing process before you hold space for other people. And you can take that knowledge and you can really change your life with. You can change the world with. After you do it for a long time, people would start paying you for holding space for emotional healing processes for you. So the knowledge is passed on, and we all learn from each other. We all heal each other, and we take radical responsibility for the healing of the world. So nobody can do it for us, but nobody can prevent us from doing that. Nobody can stop you from doing an emotional healing process, asking for it, going through that, and hold space for other people to do it. Nobody can do it for you. This is Dor from Coaching Circle, empowered by Possibility Management Thoughtware. Thank you for watching this video. Keep watching more videos. If you have anything to ask or anything to comment, you can comment here on the video down below. If you want to ask me about more ways that you can go through emotional healing process yourself, or you want to learn how to do it, and there are certain programs that can help you do that, let me know. Thank you for watching. See you next time.
'Cause I've been carrying my trouble and this pack strapped to my shoulder ever since I was a baby. I've been running from everything I know. Don't you tell me about my trouble, 'cause you know nothing about my trouble. Nobody knows.